Hey guys, Ryan here with Our 3 Cents, and today for episode 10, we are going to be answering your viewer emails. Tune in for more. Hey guys, Ryan here with Our 3 Cents, the talk show for dreamers, doers, and entrepreneurs. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to episode 10 of our YouTube show and podcast. Today, I am gathered here with my co-host, as always, Bree Goldstein and Scorpio Mosley. Super excited to be here with them today. We're going to be answering some of your viewer emails today and questions. So super excited to have them here. Bree, anything new with you this week?
Man, it is so nice to be here. I love this. I don't know if our viewers know this, but we are sitting in NG Production Films studio, which you can't see, but I'm looking around and it is really, really awesome. So I am thrilled to be here. Scorpio, how are you doing?
Doing great. This season has been very exciting. Excited about all the shows that we've been able to offer to our viewers, subscribers, and looking forward to future things that'll come for our 3 cents.
Ryan, how's Nuclear Business Club?
Nuclear is doing great right now. We're actually super excited. We have an event coming up. It's called Pumpkin Pie and Booze. We've been got the blessing from the city of Oviedo. It's going to be located here in Central Florida, and we're going to have a lot of businesses coming out to advertise their companies. And the cool thing is, we're kind of switching it up, and we're charging them absolutely nothing. So it's pretty cool. Like, we're just trying to bring out several thousand people, make this a huge Grand Slam event. So if you're interested in that, guys, I won't bore you too much with it because you may be watching this after the fact. But
when is it?
It's going to be on October the 12th and 13th.
Awesome.
So actually this should come out a couple days before this airs. So check it out, guys. Nuclearbusinessclub.com. If you're lazy, Nuclear BC. If you spell it right, if you spell it wrong, you'll find us. We're on there. So check that out. And if you have a business in Central Florida, we'd love to have you. If you have a business anywhere in the country and you feel like flying down, come on, we'd love to have you as well. So check that out. And we hope that you all will come out for that. But anyways, guys, really while we're here today, with enough sales aside, thank you guys for tuning in for the past. This will be our 10th episode. We really appreciate it. It means the world to us, and for us to continue doing this through season 2 and beyond, we do need that viewership. Okay, your likes, your comments, all of that stuff. That's basically giving us a credit rating as a show, and that lets YouTube and these other people know if we're any good or if we're terrible. So please, guys, keep interacting with us. We really appreciate that. And without any further ado, we're going to get into these questions. Okay, so let's ask the questions that the viewers want to know. Here we go. These are straight from our social, website, email, everywhere else that we are on the internet. Okay, so first question is kind of generic and probably a little bit meant to be funny, but how do I become rich? So this is probably a whole episode that we Michael from Seattle is asking us this. So Michael, how do you become rich? Well, Seattle has a lot of opportunity, but I think I will send it over to Scorpio first and see if he can give you maybe a tip or two on how to.
Yeah, obviously the resident expert on being rich. But I would say, thinking about the process of being rich and the fact that I think it's relative to what's important to you. Folks that are rich in spirit, they're rich in the ways of life, but things that really matter. I think that's probably the most important thing that I've gathered from my experience and interaction with people. Rich is relative to what's important to you. So for me, I feel that I'm rich in love with my family, rich in opportunity that lies before me. So for yourself, I would say kind of look inward and see what's important to you, and I think that's where you'll find your richness.
That's a great question. And it's a great point as well, what you said, Scorpio. I think that really, Michael, if you're asking how do I become rich, you should define for yourself what does rich mean, right? You can absolutely become monetarily rich, and there are a number of different avenues for that. You can be rich in relationships, in spiritual aspects, in opportunities, in a myriad of different things. Like Scorpio had mentioned, myself, I feel that I'm very rich in experiences and opportunities and relationships. And I found that for me, my life is really about experiences and relationships, and probably actually in reverse order. So really about relationships and experiences. And through that, I've been able to parlay that into several streams of income and make a very comfortable living with my family. And, but really, if you're trying to become financially rich, I think that really you need to look inward and see why, right? What is it that you want to achieve? If you're after cars, if you're after house, if you're after lifestyle, if you're after travel, right? Figure out what it is that you want, because at the end of the day, when we pass, we don't take anything with us, right? So figure out why you want to be rich, what you want to do with that, however you define it, right? With that money or with those relationships or what experiences you want. And then you can really figure out, how do I get to that point? And if you're wondering, I have a book called Accomplish Anything, which you can find on Amazon under my name, Bree Goldstein, as the author, and that will help you achieve your goals.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. And I will say, I've actually just recently read 3 of Bree's books. Very good. I really enjoy them, and you can find those on Amazon as I did. So check that out. Really cool stuff, and I think it's cool to know an author, personally, and so very cool. For me, to be rich, I mean, of course, it's relative, it's subjective, but I think ultimately, if you want to be rich, find something you're passionate about. Find a way to monetize it, and you need a system. You have to have a system in place. If you don't have a system, you're not going to be able to scale. And please find a business that's scalable. Without scalability, you're never going to be rich. You may have a great living, but if it's not scalable at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to. The point of being rich is to be, have the experiences, have the access to everything, have that fun rock star lifestyle. And so if you really want that, you have to work hard, and you have to have some businesses or some systems in place so that you can scale above the average individual. So that's my 1 cent on that. And I will pass this over to Bree so she can randomly pull out a question and fire away.
Exciting. I am going to go with this one. And this comes to us from Dylan in Chicago. Hello, Dylan in Chicago. You're in my hometown. Do you have a favorite guest so far, and why? Ooh,
that's a tough one.
I am going to go last. I know.
Do you want me to take the jump with the grenade there, or do you want you got one? You go ahead, Scorpio.
Man, that's a very tough question. Starting out this process, really the idea of it was to engage folks that had really great information to share, or great experiences. So they've all been really great guests for different reasons. So it's hard to pick just one. If I was forced to pick just one, I would probably say one of the guests that I brought on because of the previous relationship, and that obviously plays a big part of it. So I would say Juliana Orman and R.C. Williams.
Yeah.
Just having a previous relationship with those folks and seeing the growth that they have been able to accomplish from last time we spoke to now. Was really exciting to see that. So if I had to say, the favorite guest for me, I would say those folks, just kind of see their journey and how it's played out for them.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say. I mean, you're going from, from Emma to Sean, to the healthy junk food, JP and Julia, to Kathy Chu, Dr. Sontag, going into Juliana and RC, Jeremy Sisman. I mean, we've just had so many awesome guests on the show, and please jump in if I'm forgetting anyone.
Christina.
Because Christina, oh my gosh, Christina, if you guys wonder, we do film 2 episodes every time, so a little behind the scenes secret of our weeks. So we did just film with Christina, so I am so sorry about that. Christina, thank you for coming in today too. She was awesome.
She was awesome.
So we definitely check her out. Her links are all going to be in that previous video number 9. So if I had to say my favorite guest, I'm a little biased, so I'm going to say I'm going to go with Emma, and the only reason I'm going to say Emma is because she did me the solid of being our first guest on the show, the first person that would actually come on when they, who knew what it was going to be, and it was rough. We had some growing pains, so thank you, Emma. We're rooting for you for this to become the next mayor of Oviedo, and we really do appreciate your support of the show. So thank you very much for that.
Wow. I actually don't have a favorite guest, and at the same time, I also don't have a least favorite guest. I have really enjoyed sitting down with each of our guests, although I missed the 2 that were your contacts. But I've really enjoyed sitting down with each person, because when I knew them previously and they were my contacts, it's a whole different ballgame to sit here and talk to them about things we probably mostly haven't talked about, and things we have talked about, to hear it in a different light. And I just have so much respect for each person that's come out and sat down with us and shared their personal stories and their journeys and what they're doing. I don't have a favorite, and I don't have a least favorite. Scorpio, you want to pick the next cue?
Let's give it a try. Let's see.
Pick a good one. Just
I
kidding.
know, right?
They're all good so
Scramble
far.
them up.
Both of them.
All right. We have a question from Carlos in San Diego. Who would a dream guest be for you? Who would a dream guest for your show be?
Ooh,
dream
that's
guest.
a good one. That's a great
I know
question.
who Ryan's gonna say, but
You go. Bree, do you want to go first?
You know what? All three of my grandfathers, I have three sides to my family, and all three of them have been these tremendous entrepreneurs. One of my grandfathers had a clothing business, and he had a sports boat business, and he was a judge, and I would love to have him in studio with us. Another one had a clothing store that he grew in the Midwest, and they opened up to 7 locations. I would love to sit down with him. And so my third grandfather, he had a toy store, one of the first children's toy stores in Nebraska, and also he was a pioneer not just in the business world, but also in his community. He's actually the reason that there is a Holocaust memorial in Nebraska at all. It was with his influence, his pushing, his drive. And so for any of my 3 grandfathers, I would love to sit down with them, talk with them on the show, and learn from them because they've been huge influences in my life, and they're truly incredible entrepreneurs. And so that would be my dream guest.
Amazing.
Nice.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I have some locals, and then I'll go ahead with my international. So obviously, on the bigger scale, I would love to interview, Richard Branson, obviously, Jeff Bezos, Tesla, Elon Musk, dream big, right? Or go broke, Warren Buffett included in that. But on a more localized level, I would love to interview Daryl Toll, the CEO of Advent Health in the local Central Florida region. I would love to interview Sean Mangan. He's one of my good friends and sponsors with my sports company, who owns approximately 30 Little Caesars between here and South Carolina. So I'd love to interview him when he has some free time. Also, Michael T. Gibson, Central Florida's own auto justice attorney. I would love to interview him. The guy's awesome. He's been so good to me over the years, and he's really just a class act. So I'd love to interview him when he has free time. So please, guys, answer my emails. I want to see you on the show. But that would be probably on a local level. Of course, Gary Vee on the international level as well. But that's pretty much it. I mean locally. Also, one more, Brian Wright. He's with the Wright family. They own several McDonald's franchises in the Central Florida market. I would love to interview them about their journey with the McDonald's Corporation. So that's for me. Scorpio.
Cool. Those are obviously some great folks to bring on the show. I know for me, just I could narrow it down to one. There's a lot of people that I would like to bring on, but I probably narrow it down to one, and it's a guy by the name of Jay Morrison. He's an influencer on Instagram, but he has an amazing story. He's a founder of Tulsa Real Estate Fund, basically the first Black-owned Tulsa real estate fund in the country. Has a really, like I said, important story of overcoming. Has a history of growing up in lower income and going through those trials and tribulations, but has really turned things around and created an opportunity for a lot of folks to really turn their lives around. So I think that would be like a dream. When I think of dream opportunity, I think of one that you may not be able to make happen. But if we're able to kind of keep this thing going with our 3 cents, maybe down the line, that's something we can make happen for us.
Nice.
Good deal.
Awesome.
So we'll pass it back.
Back to Ryan.
Yeah. I like this. This is
Go, Ryan guy.
fun. Now, let's see what we got here. All right, so we go right in here. Here we go. I think we've already touched on this, but Robert from Philadelphia would like to know, where do you film your show, and how big is your production team? So Robert, great question. Obviously, we've touched on that, and we're going to do a follow-up in the future with where we actually interview some of the production team. Right now, unfortunately, they're behind the camera, so we can't do that. But we're working with a couple different production teams right now. We're working with the NG Production Films, which is awesome. They've took over as of episode 7 of the series. So make sure you guys do recognize that if you see some of our earlier works. Also, we're working with a company called On Target Digital Marketing over in Maitland, Florida. So we're working with both of these companies. They do the podcast side of things, and their team's very awesome. And with the NG Promotions or Productions, they're doing a fantastic job too. So I know I kind of answered that question, but for me to pass it off to you guys seemed kind of silly. So I'll just pass it over to you.
All right.
And to answer the size of the team real quick, I'm so sorry. Size of the team, NG Productions and On Target are very, very large teams, so I couldn't even tell you how many people are currently working on this project. But we're super excited to have them, and it's going to get better every episode.
I am going to take this one. which comes to us from Serena in Toronto. Hello, Serena.
Oh, Canada.
What are your favorite books on business?
Ooh.
Scorpio, you want to kick this one off? I'll give you the cup at the same time, the mug of questions.
Favorite books on business. I think of, I'm a big fan of Audible, so lately Audible has been my means of books and things like that. And as I think about my favorite ones, I would have to say,
Let's go back to you.
yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Bree, do you want to take over?
Sure. I am completely biased. Full disclosure, my biases show on almost everything. I'm not good at faking it. And I will tell you my favorite business book is Start From Success, written by my husband. And the reason that I love it is good for any dreamer, it is good for any doer, and it's good for entrepreneurs because it teaches you how to find an idea, test an idea before you invest in it, and then take it from ideation through fruition and implementation to actually start a business and run a business and implement those systems that you said that you talked about and are so necessary. So I love Start From Success by Joel Goldstein. I've read it multiple times, not just to edit it, but actually to read it because he has some great advice and I recommend it all the time. You can find it on Amazon under Joel Goldstein. You have one?
Yeah, I do actually. So I'm pretty transparent. We've probably talked about this before already with some of the over the episodes, but probably the best, and it's you got to get the Audible. Go to Audible. I'm giving them a free plug right now. You got to go to Audible and get the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babbitt. One of the best, most immersive experiences listening to the audiobook that I've ever kind of went through for a book. So, I don't like reading books because they're boring to me, but I love the audio books because I can retain the information a lot better. And the way that the author tells the story, the narrator tells the story, there's sound effects and there's machine guns going off, and then they take it back how the chaos of the battlefield can relate to the chaos of work. And they basically say, hey, you're not going to get killed in the corporate world, guys. Toughen up a bit and take ownership for some of the stuff that you're doing right or wrong. And so that book, if I have to recommend any book, get the Audible version. You got to get the Audible version. Listen to the audiobook. But it's so awesome. It's probably one of the best books I've ever read. And I read hundreds of books a year. So definitely check that out. I'm not going to even push anything else. That's the book.
No, definitely great selections. I'll look into Joel's book. That sounds like a great one too. I guess I was stumped because whenever the question was asked business books, and most of the books that I read are more of kind of self-help, if you will, kind of thinking about how do I refocus and focus and make sure I'm making the changes that I need to make to be better. So as I think about those, there's a book that's called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it just talks about the evolution of change and how you're able to adapt to different situations. And those things are helpful for me when I think about business because I think about all the things that you have to overcome. And once I start to look within and realize that, there are things that I can do differently. There's things that I can approach differently with my change in attitude or change in my focus. That's going to allow me to achieve the things that I want to achieve goal by goal by goal. So those are the things that I use to kind of help me push forward. So Atomic Habits by James Clear, and then also Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I think that's a really great book to kind of helps you kind of understand, what are the reasons why you're starting the things that you're starting. So you have that starting point to focus your passion and then move forward from there. So I would say those two would be most important for me.
Awesome.
Cool. Is it on me?
It's on you.
Yeah, it's you. Unless you want to drink
I'm holding the cup. Let's see. These questions are a little bit more involved than I thought. Good questions. Good questions.
Yeah, thank you, viewers. Please send us more.
This is from Joanne. I won't say her last name, but this is from Joanne in Cincinnati. Do the hosts have stylists or do they dress themselves for each show?
Ryan,
we'll start with you on that one.
Okay, so first off, whoever asked that question, I love you. Thank you so much, Mom, or whoever sent that. We do not have stylists. I do pretty much exclusively wear Men's Wearhouse brand. So if anybody from Men's Wearhouse is watching this, I would love some hookups on some clothes. So definitely we do not have stylists, but I have a great couple guys that I work with in Central Florida at the Men's Wearhouse that help me out with my clothing choices. So yeah, that for me, no stylist, but that's kind of where I get the help from. You guys?
Do you have a stylist?
No, not quite. I've been asked that question before, but my style is
Maybe Lynn.
yeah, self-made, but it's I don't have a particular company to plug, but if
Well, you do for your eyewear.
Yeah, and those are stylish.
oh man,
I know.
how did I miss that? Like
How did you miss
softball,
that? It's just like right in front of your eyes.
Softball. So we are real people. Obviously, I missed the softball. So yeah, as far as stylists, I do have my own eyewear stylist, and it's yours truly. So my own brand, Scorpio Lamont. You can find that on www.scorpiolamont.com. All the social media platforms, you'll find me at Scorpio Lamont Eyewear. So definitely take a look at us, take a look at our story, and find out more about, what we're doing and why we're doing it. And we'd love to answer any questions that you have with respect to that. As far as clothing, I've always kind of fancied myself as a bit of a fashionista, not a fashionista. So just like to wear different colors and different styles. But no, I'm my own stylist, and I'll always remain my own stylist.
I don't have a stylist either. I could use a hair and makeup person. If you got some tips on clothes you like, colors, maybe better patterns, send them my way. I'm totally open to all that stuff.
All right, this is so far so good. Let's see what we got here. Let me just dig in here.
Personal.
I know.
All right, I like the personal ones. They're fun. That means they actually can relate to us in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so if you could be a guest on any other show, what show would it be? This is from Tyler in Georgia. So Tyler, hey, thanks for sending in the message. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass off to you guys first, so I don't hog all the limelight. Scorpio, you want to?
If I could be a guest on a show, wow.
YouTube or TV, I'm assuming they mean.
Or podcast.
Or podcast, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like sports. So I like sports. Talk about sports all day long. So I would say college game day. So college game day, Saturday mornings, I'm up right at 10, tuning in, just taking in all the excitement about college football, all the pageantry, so I love it. And I'd love to be on there to talk about it, give my opinions on it. So when you think about, as far as a show, that'd be a show I'd like to be on. It'd be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I would go for a podcast. I'm a big podcast listener. I consume them almost every time I drive, especially if I'm alone in the car and I don't have my kiddos with me, because they like their music and I like their music, so we listen to their music. But I would choose a podcast from NPR. I think they're awesome, whether it's from StoryCorps or it's Hidden Brain or another one I like, and I don't actually think this is NPR. It comes out of a university, although it's called The Science of Happiness, where they do different experiments to improve happiness and increase happiness, and I've actually used them in my classroom. I like all of those. I would choose one of their podcasts.
Cool.
Nice. I think for myself, if I'm going, if I'm going like grand scale, I'm going to go, I would like to be on Kelly and Ryan, because I like the Kelly and Ryan show a lot.
Just like the name.
Yeah, well, I do, and I love, full disclosure, I love Ryan Seacrest. I think he's awesome. I love him as a businessman, and I just think he's cool. But so I would love to go on that show in the grand scheme of things. But on a more realistic level, I'd love to be on a local show called the Florida Roundtable. I love that show. It's like a podcast show early on Sunday mornings when I happen to be up. So I like that show a lot, and other than that, of course, Gary Vee, call me, reach out, please. I'll travel. I'd always love that experience, just to even be in your aura. So those would be mine.
Awesome. Oh, back to Bree. Hello, Dwayne in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
Nice.
I have not been to Australia. I've been to New Zealand a couple of times. I have family there, but I've not been to Australia.
Nice.
So, let's see. If you were an animal, what would you be? Man, you want to start?
I'll start with that. 2 answers. So, with the name Scorpio, people get to ask the question all the time: Is it Scorpion or Scorpio? No, Scorpio, not Scorpion. So maybe I would be a Scorpion. I don't know. But the real answer that always comes to mind is obviously not obviously, but is a lion. Just like what it means in the Bible. Obviously, you folks that read the Bible, some of the meanings behind that. But I just like the strength that it portrays and the sense of pride. Double meaning there, but the sense of pride that it exudes. So probably a lion.
Right.
Damn it, Scorpio.
I'm sorry.
So I'm born in July. I'm a Leo. I would be a lion. But I guess since Scorpio took mine, I guess if I had to be another animal that's also fun, that's a tough one. Maybe maybe a mongoose because they kill snakes, and I'm terrified of snakes. I don't know. That would be maybe me. I don't know. Bree?
I totally thought you were gonna pick the bald eagle.
I have a fear, so I'm staying away. I keep my Rogaine going or whatever. So I'm, just kidding. But.
Oh my goodness, I've thought about this question so many times, and for me, it completely just depends on my mood and the day. And today I would be a gazelle. I didn't get to hit the gym this morning, so gazelles are beautiful runners, and they just kind of fly through the fields. And
Lions eat gazelles.
Only if they can catch them. I'm pretty quick.
Nice.
Good
You want to
deal.
take a
Good
question?
deal. All right. I'm getting down to the bottom here.
Nice.
I have a question for each of you when we're finished with our viewer
Okay.
questions.
When we get it back next to you, why don't you take that opportunity in
Okay.
place of your...
All right. I'll be happy to.
All right. This is from Hunter in Ontario. Hunter wants to know what other career you would have if you weren't an entrepreneur. Who wants that one?
You going to me?
Go
All
for
right,
it.
Ryan.
I
Go
got
for
this
it.
down. So if I could be anybody else besides what I do now, it's very, very easy. I would be an astronaut. I think that's a cool job. I'd like to be an astronaut with like the new age of space with
SpaceX.
like SpaceX and some of these other players. So I think it's really cool, especially living in the Central Florida market with the space history here. So that would be my first choice. Second choice would probably be like one of those like travel vloggers where you just get to go everywhere cool and like write about it. I think that'd be fun. So that would be mine.
Awesome. I would work with animals, whether I'd be training them or helping them medically or just playing with them all day, making them happy. I would totally dig that. And, on my side job, I'm a teacher. I teach at UCF. And that's not exactly entrepreneurial, although I did get to create my class. And I did walk in to complain and came out with a job as the short story. So maybe it is. But
Cool. So yeah, like Ryan, I'll take two. The dream job would be an athlete. Now, what guy doesn't want to be an athlete? So NBA player, NFL player, that would have been awesome. But not everybody's blessed with the genes to do that, right? So other than that, I'd really like to make happen a mentor program which I'm actually trying to do now with some of the capital gain from my company. So really being a mentor and pouring back into the community where I'm from. Not a lot of opportunity, but I think you can create opportunities with your education and how you approach life. So being a mentor and creating a program for those folks that don't have the best opportunity. So that would be my dream job, if you will. Cool.
Great.
awesome.
And throwing it back to me, I also forgot this one. Coming from the healthcare setting, I'd also like to be a physician. I think that's really cool. My brother's a doctor, and those guys get mad respect, and they walk in like bosses. So I would definitely like to be a physician. I think that's a cool, coming from the healthcare field, cool job, really cool job. All right, so here we go. Best tip for let me say it right. Best tip for guerrilla marketing. Okay, if you don't know what guerrilla marketing is, Google it, guys. But basically, it's just a non-traditional or standout tactic to use for marketing your company that's against the traditional norms. So my best tactic would be, and code enforcement, please don't come find me, but some of those bandit type signs have been some of the most success that we've seen with some of our sports companies and some of those. And I feel like, it's okay because we do give back a decent amount to the community. So it's a win-win, guys. Okay, so partner with us on that. But that would be my guerrilla marketing tactic. Would be find something where you're not competing with 20 other people. When people read those signs because they're at a traffic light, they're bored, they look over, they have one option to read. So they read it real quick. They either instantly disregard the information or they say, let me lock that in. I might need that. And then they see another one 2 streets down. Before long, they've taken a picture of the sign or they've called you. So that's a little tip. Please don't everyone do it though, because you look bad. So we had enough politicians already doing it. So pass it on to Bree.
My biggest tip is to be strategic and to go where your audience is, right? It's not where you want to hang out, but where your audience hangs out. So give them media or content in a way that they can digest it, in a way that they want to digest it, and be where they are.
Man, and that's exactly what I was going to mention. find your audience. Aside from that, I personally haven't used it to its fullest extent. But I think more than anything is finding your audience and being where they're at. So I hate to kind of duplicate what you just said, but that was the main thing that I thought about when you said it from the start. So.
You can duplicate it. I gave great advice.
Payback for being a lion.
Our advice.
So I'm going to pass the mug directly to Scorpio, and I'm going to ask you a Bree question instead of picking out one of our viewer questions.
Cool.
Ryan, Scorpio, what is something that our viewers don't know about you?
Ooh, Ryan, go for it.
Something they don't know about me.
Yeah. We give them little updates every show, but
Okay.
know?
Something they don't know about me. I like playing tennis. I used to like playing guitar, but then I became so busy with life, I just collect them now. I love my kids. I have 4 children, three awesome girls and 1 boy. My wife's awesome. She puts up with all this stuff and does a good job of it. And so that's kind of maybe some stuff you guys don't know. I love the beach. I love anything entrepreneurial. I guess that's pretty much all obvious stuff, but that's it. And just so you guys know, obviously, probably one thing that's probably the most standout. I don't usually dress like this. I actually dress pretty normal most of the time. This is actually more for the obviously the theme of the show. So that would probably be my probably some things you might not know about me.
Cool. Starting with family, obviously, for me, father of 3 girls. So I live in a house full of women. It's pretty interesting, but it's fun all the same. Girls are really caring, and it's just such a beautiful relationship with my daughter. So that's a big part of my life. So you obviously wouldn't know that. So definitely want to share that because it's important to me. And then some other things as I won't say serial entrepreneur, but some things I've tried in the past. I used to own a club. We had a partner and we had a club back in our small town, back in North Central Florida. Pretty awesome experience. But with those type of environments come a lot of situations, we'll put it. So it wasn't something that was conducive for having a family, the late nights and all the different elements that come out to the club atmosphere. But that was one of my ventures back in the day, and look back on it with fond memories, but not something you want to continue to stay a part of because it's not really conducive to a happy marriage. So.
There you go. Let's hear it. What you got?
All right.
Well,
you got to
Bree, yeah, you got to answer your own question. This is a partnership here.
All right. Something y'all don't know about me. I feel like I'm just so transparent. And if you've been to my website, BreeGoldstein.com, you probably know already.
Right.
Although, what don't you know? I've been to 46 of the 50 states.
Oh wow!
I think, and our app was used in my app UpDog was used in 62 countries. So based on the map that Yelp puts out, which was one of our biggest competitors, our app actually covered more ground than theirs in a couple points, just based on the map that they give out versus the map that we had from our users collected by analytics. And something else fun that you don't know about me. I don't know. You know I rescued a pig, right?
that was definitely one of your.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. We rescued a pig, and he was super sick and like 2.5 pounds, and now he's very healthy. And after he got healthy, he stayed in our house for the first couple months, and then we moved him outside, and then he actually was adopted into a sanctuary, and a real sanctuary, not a lovely sanctuary in the sky. And so I go visit him almost every month, and he still remembers me and comes running over. So he's definitely been a highlight that I don't probably talk about too often because who rescues feral hogs? So
It's cool though.
It is very. All right, guys, we're getting down to the wire. Last 2.
woo.
All right. This one doesn't. Oh, this is Marcus. Marcus from Orlando. How many hours a day do you typically work?
You guys want to take? Anyone want to take this first?
Sure. So when I was starting up Publicly Related, my PR agency, we hit it hard every single day. It seemed like 42 hours a day just because it was all, I mean, I'm a bit of a workaholic, so it was always, how can I either work in the business, how can I work on the business, or I was always thinking about it, right? I was always looking for more opportunities for my clients. I was looking for ways to streamline processes. I was looking for ways to offer more value. It was just constant. And since I worked from home, there was no commute. So it was very easy to just work constantly. So I actually had to kind of extract myself from that environment and force myself to go out and have fun and say, well, it's Tuesday morning and I've done everything I need to do and I don't have another deadline for 2 hours. So I'm going to have a half an hour time to read a book or take a walk or get some fresh air. So for me, it's easy to literally just work because I love what I do. Teaching now and with our side businesses, because I'm a full-time mom of 2, I tend to work a lot less on the side businesses and on teaching because I'm momming all the time. But I'm totally happy with that.
Nice. I would say for me, I really don't have a lot of balance. I generally go to bed around 10 o'clock p.m., wake up around 2 in the morning, sometimes a little earlier or sometimes a little later. But generally, I get about 4 hours of sleep a night on average. Some nights it's an all-nighter. Some nights, once a week I try to get like 6 or 7, even 8 maybe. But I generally work about 20 hours a day. And it's because of a couple of reasons. One, I struggle with what I would call like imposter syndrome. I don't feel like I'm successful enough, and until I can, it's a big psychological thing, so I won't get into that. But until I can really, get a handle on everything that I'm trying to do with all the projects I'm doing, it's not going to stop. So I work about 20 hours a day. I like what I do. I'm passionate about it. But I'd be lying to you guys. We're a show about business. I'm going to tell you the truth. I go from job to job to job. And that's my life. And I try and work in my family in between that. And my hope is that, of course, one day it'll be the flip. But at this point, I've made a promise to my wife that until I'm 40 years old, I will give everything I have to business. If I haven't made it by that point, I'll take a huge step back. But until now and then, or from now till then, it will not stop. 20 hours a day, every single day. That's just me. If I live that long, hopefully I'll be successful. Scorpio.
Cool. For me, when I think about, how often do I work, I mean, it's kind of hard to turn it off, right? You can't really turn it off. You're always thinking about it. So you try to find ways to make sure that you're fitting in the things that you need to work on, the goals that you have set out for you. So it's hard to quantify it specifically, but I want to be mindful and intentional. When I'm working. But when I'm not working, it's important for me not to work as well, because just having some semblance of a balance, and we talked about it earlier, is not a true balance. Maybe you're juggling more than anything. Having that opportunity to be able to decompress, enjoy the journey that I'm on is important for me, because, at the end of the day, if I go hard charging all in all the time, the people that I care most about, I miss out on experiences with them. So, and that's tremendously important for me. So for me, when I'm on, I'm going to go all in and make sure I'm going after the things that I want to achieve. But at the same time, when I step away from that and I'm spending time with those 3 daughters, my wife, and other family members, it's going to be, a really great time with them as well too. So I think you got to find that balance. When you think about, how much you're working and how important it is, it's not how much I think it's the impact of the hours that you spend working. So if that's something that you're thinking about, be mindful of that and be intentional when you're working, but at the same time, be intentional when you're not working. Spend time on those things that you enjoy, to be able to revitalize, step back, catch a breather, and then go back at it.
That's great
That
advice.
was my advice.
Ryan, you want to take us home?
Last
Yeah,
one.
let's do it. And by the way, on the last question there, Scorpio and Bree's philosophy is much healthier. So don't adopt mine, guys. I'm wild when it comes to business, and I don't recommend what I do. I'm definitely non-traditional, but maybe it'll pay off, maybe it won't. That's how the business world works. We'll see. Here we go. Okay, well, I feel like we may have already touched on this, but what are your non-business hobbies? And this is from Gia in New Orleans. So Gia, thank you for reaching out. We appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Leave us a comment, like, subscribe. Like I said before, I enjoy tennis. I'm not very good at it, but if there's anybody out there that's like at a average to a slightly above average, I would love to hook up. And tennis, and if I had time, I would say guitar. But that's about it for me.
Non-business activities. As far as personally, I like anything that involves exercise. So I've done boxing, CrossFit. I do basketball. Play basketball all the time. Flag football. All those things just to stay active. I think it's important to be able to exercise and kind of stay as fit as you can. Obviously that's a big part of it. We all want to be successful, but at the end of the day, nothing is more important than your health. So I've always tried to be involved in some type of exercise to stay healthy. Aside from that, being able to travel, I think that's fun. And a minute ago, I was talking about being able to step away from work and step away from business. One of the ways that we do that is traveling, going to different places. Most recently, we went to Denver, Colorado and skied, and I never skied before. Had never seen snow before. But being able to do that is just an experience that you can look back on and say, when we think about accomplishments are those things that we are involved in that we're happy about and excited that we did them. So that's just one of the things that we've been able to do is travel a little bit. So that's what I would do away from business.
That's awesome. I am right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
I love to travel. I love domestic trips. I love international trips. I love going and seeing new places and meeting people and learning about cultures and absorbing it, trying their food, trying customs, whatever a custom is, a custom habit or celebration. I love it all.
Nice.
So I'm right there with you with travel. I love adventures. So whether it's going out and looking for bugs in the backyard with my kids, or it's a larger adventure. We were just actually also in Colorado recently.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
went hiking, and I was able to kind of show my passion for hiking, where I used to do it for a job. And I used to actually live in Colorado, and I was able to share both my passions for hiking and my love of Colorado with my family. That was a much larger adventure than looking for bugs, but it was all great. I love cooking. You can usually find me in the kitchen cooking up some masterpiece. And lastly, again with you, I absolutely love exercise. I leave my house every day between around 4:30 or 5 in the morning to go to my gym, crush it in the morning before the family gets up so I don't take away from them, come back, and I'm energized for the day. I think we talked about that when Sean was on, actually.
Yeah.
My trainer.
Awesome.
What up, Sean?
It's awesome. Well, guys, I think we're going to start to wrap up here. Real quick, we just want to say thank you so much, guys. Really, we appreciate everybody tuning into the show. It really does make a world of difference as to whether or not we get to continue to do this. So your support is awesome. So please, anything you could do to like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends. If you want to be on the show, reach out to us. If you have any suggestions, ideas, if you think we're stupid, whatever, please just tell us. Let us know. We really value your opinions, and we just want to hear it, even if it's funny or rude. So let us know, and hopefully we'll see you guys for season 2. In order to do that, though, we need you to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Anything you guys want to share for the end to wrap this season up?
This was a lot of fun. It was a great learning experience. I appreciate the opportunity. And, it's you guys, the viewers, that give us the energy and the motivation and the inspiration to keep going forward. So thank you.
Likewise, I echo all those thoughts. Thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun, and excited about the opportunity of moving forward into season 2. But thank you guys as well, the subscribers, all the folks that have tuned in and gave us the support that we're looking for. Just looking forward to hopefully moving forward into season 2. But thank you guys.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Again, you are watching Our 3 Cents, the talk show for dreamers, doers, and entrepreneurs. We'll see you next time for season 2.